This is it. The final thrust of the knife. I've held onto this for oh so long because the truth is really quite damning. I know some of you have already figured it out by now, but I hope you had fun slowly piecing together the jigsaw I laid out for you. If you are not one of the lucky ones, I have the displeasure of revealing that, of course, as always, things can always get much worse. You see, Caesar, Edward Sallow, he would never be born, as the conditions under which his parents met no longer exist. But it gets worse than that. Within 10 years, essentially the entire survivor population of America would make its way to the Colorado River Basin. Almost 4 million of them. Many survivors won't survive the trip. That's a lot of people not having children with the people they were supposed to have children with, in a different place, at a different time, half a continent from where they should be. Do you understand now? This goes for every single named character in the entire Fallout canon who is not born of an undisturbed pre-war vault bloodline or secret government bunker. None of them ever existed. None of them had the chance. And it's entirely Obsidian's fault. Because the Colorado River Basin isn't irradiated, the entire population of America will eventually make their way over, instead of staying where there is nothing clean enough to drink. Because of this, the people who should be where they are, for every story in the Fallout universe to make sense, aren't and never will be. In Fallout 1, when the Vault Dweller leaves Vault 13, there is no Shady Sands. There is no Junktown. There is no hub. Not even the con raiders are here. The people that would have lived here moved east. The Brotherhood might still exist, living in their pre-war bunker. However, the Vault Dweller does not know where to look, or how to survive increasingly dangerous enemies, with all but a 10mm pistol. Then there is Necropolis. If it is even possible for the Vault Dweller to have somehow survived the journey here without a hint as to its existence, there are no super mutants to interact with anymore. Why? Oh, we'll get to that later. For now, it is inevitable for the Vault Dweller to die alone in the desert, never meeting another soul. The Chosen One, descendant of the Vault Dweller, is never born. Not only Arroyo was never founded, Arroyo never existed. Every single person they met never existed. The Enclave never lose their oil rig, and so much more. As far as the West Coast goes, nothing ever happens. But what about the East Coast? Forget the lone wanderer. Even his father James won't be born. His ancestors would have either died or married other people, and would be living in Colorado, not Washington, D.C. So, no Project Purity either. Even the concept of it wouldn't exist. It would never need to. Vault 101 never opens its doors. Amata grows up alone, bullied by her peers. As Overseer, her first contact with the outside world will be with the Enclave. Naive, and with no close friend to save her this time, she opens the doors of her vault to them. Blindly, foolishly, her last act as Overseer of Vault 101. In Boston, deep under Sanctuary, the lone survivor slumbers forever. Even his precious wife and baby would perish in their cryopod. The Institute would never come for them. Their motivation for doing so made null by an absent human population. There's also no one to kidnap and forcibly mutate into super mutants either. Without Sean to guide their efforts, the Institute will continue to develop better cyborg technology to extend their members' lifespans. To expand topside, the Institute would produce advanced versions of the sentry bots for combat, superior assaultrons to clear out close-quarter zones, and upgraded securitrons to harvest and carry anything useful from topside. Or maybe something even more advanced than that, as all that's left in the wasteland are mutated monsters and rogue pre-war automatons. There is no one to replace, no one to impersonate, no one to conquer, and the Kellogg they would have hired never would have existed. There wouldn't even be a replacement for him. They all left nearly 200 years ago. Kellogg's ancestors lived in California. They would have moved to Lake Mead long before the mercenary was even born, and thus never shall be. Lastly, there is the courier. Not only are the circumstances of his birth made null by this new timeline, but his employer would not live long enough to request his precious platinum chip. House fell into a coma, lasting until 2138, Anno Domini. In the 61 years he was asleep, the Lucky 38 security systems would keep him safe from the odd team of scavengers or raiders. But against factions numbering in the thousands, vying over every scrap of salvage for an edge over each other, all occupying the state of Nevada, Mr. House would never get the chance to wake up. The local warlords would tear both the Strip and its meager tribes apart for every edge they could find, right down to the basement of the Lucky 38. All the while, killing or culturally annihilating the local tribes in their infancy. No House, no Strip, no NCR, no Legion. This is the Lake Mead timeline, the damn incident, the true fate of the Fallout universe. And it's all Obsidian's fault. As for the series' iconic super mutants, they too would never get the chance to exist. Once upon a time, the Master was a human named Richard Moreau. He was exiled from his place in Vault 8 for murder, then made his way to the Hub. However, the Hub no longer exists in the true timeline of Fallout, thanks to Obsidian's mistake. Should he even survive the journey, he would make his way from northernmost Nevada, Vault City, to southernmost Nevada, where Lake Mead is. His legacy is to be just another nameless corpse in the wasteland. We know that Huntersville has produced super mutants, but there is no evidence of the government or West-Tech going ahead with poisoning more water sources with FEV. So Appalachia and Washington might just be the last two places left to find a super mutant. In summary, thanks to Obsidian unwittingly creating a purified water basin of pristine water, the entire post-war population of America would inevitably move away from where they are supposed to be, in order for every Fallout to make sense. From Tycho to Moira, from Arroyo to Rivet City. Aradesh never kickstarts the Republic. Edward Sallow never founds the Legion. And so on. Even pre-war ghouls like Raoul would live radically altered lives. The earliest game is Fallout 76, set 25 years after the Great War. Even by then, the whole world would be changed. This one flaw effectively decanonized every single piece of Fallout history and usurps every future Fallout forever. And yet, things can always get worse.